webinar this evening. Once again, I'm Seth Howard with the Activity Support Team, and we're grateful that everyone made it out tonight. We got a full house this evening, and tonight we have Paula Gervais with us as our guest, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to David Butler for some announcements that he may have. So go ahead, Dave.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is David and Susie here, and we're so happy to have everybody on the line. And we just I'm enjoying the aftermath of a wonderful spring ahead event, the spring event that was held in Las Vegas with so many people. Sandy Cohen and Ed Cohen and Anton and Dustin Garrity did a wonderful job in putting on just an awesome event. I'd encourage people to go to Eric and Heidi Welch's event in Wisconsin. My gosh, the fever was the excitement was at a fever pitch in Las Vegas there, and afterwards and so forth. And I've had calls over the last couple of days about the excitement people are having, some of the things they're doing since that. Anyway, those things are events are made for growth, and growth is made for events. So get ready to go to convention in September. Get signed up for that as soon as it opens up, and get your people there. But especially get those of you that can go, or especially the East Coast people, please get to Eric and Heidi Welch's event. I'm really pleased to have. By the way, let me announce next week's and the following week's webinar. Next week we'll have Ron Otterson, the head of commissions and the pay plan and so forth, and we'll go into some interesting things on the pay plan. He has some strategies and structure ideas that are really wonderful. I think you'll really want to be part of that call. I'll be presenting him with some really good questions, and he's got some methods of building that he's suggesting right now that are really wonderful. People are asking him to come to their meetings and travel and present some of those, and I think you'll find that he's really good on structure and will help out for those that have questions there. The week after that, we have an extra special guest, and that is a guy by the name of Matt Townsend. Matt Townsend is a communication expert, a counseling expert, a life coach. He became, for quite a few years, he became the lead speaker for the Franklin Covey program, and he was the number one choice of speakers everywhere for that entire program that was so big, and he left that and went into private enterprise there. He now has a weekly program on KSL, which is the largest station in the entire Intermountain West, and he has a weekly show there, and KSL is now taking him international or national. I think we'll find that within the next 1, 2, or 3 years, this guy by the name of Matt Townsend will be as big a household name as Dr. Phil is today, and he'll have you cracking up and just falling on the floor funny, while at the same time he presents really seriously important aspects of how you can communicate better with your upline, downline, cross lines, and those communication things that are so important. He also has many things to talk about regarding spousal, relationships and things like that, but he goes way beyond that. He's very much into business relationships, and that will be a very good one to get everybody on the phone on this call the week after that. Tonight we do have also an extra special guest. We have 20K Paula Gervais, and she's from Fort Myers, Florida, and Paula's career has taken her a lot of places. She was a single mother actually for almost 21 years before she married about 5 years ago, and she's done a lot of freelance writing for magazines, does a lot of speaking engagements for women's organizations all over. She's been published in the National Library of Poetry in the U.S., and she's also a singer, and along with her musician husband. In fact, a couple of hours ago, she was actually performing in the beach area of Florida there just a couple of hours ago. She just barely got home, and Friday night I'm going to be with her. I'm traveling to Florida, and we're going to do a pet CD that we're going to say something about just a little bit later. She wrote the book. She wrote the book Mangosteen Pet Experiences. Susie wants to add something.
Oh, I just have to add my 2 cents in there, Paula. I'm so glad you're married because I would not be sending my husband down to you if you were a lady. So take care of him.
Yeah, she looked. She looked at me.
He's safe with me, Susie. He's safe with me.
She looked at me kind of cross-eyed when I say I'm going to go to Florida and see Paula. She got this look in her eyes like, what? You know? I thought, I better add, and her husband, you know? So, anyway, she's a singer, like I say, along with her husband. Friday night, I'm going to be in Florida. We're doing, like I say, a pet CD, and I'm going to actually, she asked me to, I want to get in before 6 o'clock so I can actually watch her and her husband's performance at their locale that they sing and play in. So I'm looking forward to that 2 days from now. Paula told me that she's never really super flourished in small business, even though she's tried several things, until she planted her feet in Zango about 4 years ago, and now she's made herself to a qualifying 20K and moving up. I was asking her about Premier, and she's looking forward to that come convention time, and so forth. So that's Paula, and Paula has a deep feel for pets, animals, so much so that she even wrote a book that we'll talk about just a little bit later called Mangosteen Pet Experiences. And I'm telling you something, this is an incredible thing. We'll have it in the shopping cart area of Life as It Could Be within a week or so, and this is an incredible book. I mean, I'm just blown away at the pictures, the quality, the research on, and the experiences with horses, with raccoons, with cats and dogs, with you name it. It's just amazing, just amazing. So with that, let's go ahead and Paula, if I missed anything, why don't you start off right now, first of all, before we get into some of the other things, and tell us just a little bit more about your background, okay?
Okay. Well, David, first of all, thank you and Susie so much for inviting me on your call tonight. I'm really humbled and I'm really honored to be among the incredible guests that you guys have on these webinars each and every week. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to you coming this weekend. We're going to have a blast. I can assure you of that. So, well, my background really, as David mentioned, I was a single mom for nearly 24 years, and until I met my husband Al about 7 years ago, and I tried my hand at pretty much everything that I could, being a single parent, so I could stay home with my daughter. But none of those things ever came to fruition. They never panned out. And when I moved to Florida 10 years ago, I was an office manager, and I did some freelance writing for a Florida magazine here. And I was able to fire my boss 4 years ago after I found Zango. And I really, truly believe that, I've never done network marketing before, so this is the first for me. And I think that Zango is just, I'm really blessed to have this as my first and last and only network marketing company, but it's really made me the best person that I can be. It's made me the best of who I am because of the self-growth and the self-development and the training and the camaraderie that we get from everybody. And I just love what I do. I love being in this business, and it is a skills-based business. And thank God for people like you, David, that give us the training that we need all the time, because it really keeps us going. So once I got into Zango and saw what it did for my husband and my health, and of course my daughter's health and my mom's, I ended up using it on my animals. And when I saw the results from that, I thought, well, gosh, there has to be other people out there using this product for their animals. And that's when I started asking people, have you had any experience with dogs or cats? And next thing I knew, I got flooded with emails and flooded with phone calls. And I knew there was a people testimonial experience book out there by, John Bash put it together. It's a wonderful book. If you don't already have it, people should get John Bash's book, Noticing Real Life Experiences. And I thought, well, why not put a testimonial book together for animals? And that's what led me to do that. And the book has been a huge success.
That's kind of what I feel. I mean, once you you experience and you have the testimonials for yourself, you kind of have a stewardship to share that with other people. And sounds like you really felt that it was working for you, working for your family. And so that was kind of my next question: is where did your passion come to work with pets and the Zango? You kind of answered that. Do you want to go into a little bit more there? And then my next question, you could just kind of lead into that, was maybe a couple of your personal experiences that you've had with pets.
Sure. Yeah. I'd be happy to.
That.
Well, I've always had a passion for animals. Ever since I was a little girl, we've always had dogs growing up. So I can't even remember the count of dogs I had growing up. But no matter where I am, if I'm around animals, they tend to gravitate towards me. So I don't know. It's sort of like that whole animal whisperer thing. And they can't speak. So we're really guardians for them, and we need to do the best by them. And so we had just gotten our first puppy about 4 years ago, and she was only about 9 months old, and she had terrible gastrointestinal bug, I guess it was. They couldn't tell me at the vets if it was a parasite or what it was. So she was vomiting for 10 hours. She had diarrhea for 10 hours. And I took her to the vet, and of course they want to give me the traditional medicines to keep her from throwing up and to keep her from having diarrhea. And of course you can't keep anything down, so that all kind of seemed redundant to me to give her something by mouth if she can't keep food down or water. And I thought to myself, well, I remember reading about the mangosteen having gastrointestinal benefits from it. So I thought, well, I'll give it to her and see if she can keep it down. Well, I gave her probably a couple of little cc's in a syringe. I just syringed it down the back of her throat, and much to my surprise, she did not throw it up. And I thought, wow, she couldn't even keep water down, but now she's keeping this sweet juice down. How is that possible? So I just kind of kept an eye on her, and about 4 hours later, I gave her another couple of cc's of the juice, kept it down again, and without being too graphic, because of the diarrhea for 10 hours, she had a really raw little bottom, and the flesh was really raw. And so I thought, well, you must be able to apply it topically. I had read about that, them making a poultice out of it. So I soaked paper towels in the juice, and I sat her on my lap for 5 or 10 minute intervals over the course of the next couple of hours. Gave her another couple of cc's before we went to bed. And we get up the next morning. Now, mind you, she did not throw up the rest of the night. So she slept through the night. Unlike the night before, it was constantly up all night long. She immediately went to her food bowl. She was looking for food. She was looking for water. She was playful. Her eyes were bright. And I thought, wow, what a complete turnaround in like 9 or 10 hours. And I lifted her little tail, and the flesh was completely healed. There was no indication of any irritation or inflammation at all. And I thought, wow, holy cow, there's got to be more to this. And I told my daughter about it. Of course, I called her. She's a veterinary technician. She's been one for 12 years. And I called her, and I pretended that I had given her the antibiotics and all the stuff that the vets wanted. And I said, how long will it take for all these medicines to work? And she said, oh, it's going to take 2 or 3 days. I said, well, guess what? Less than 12 hours, she's a normal dog, back to normal.
My gosh,
thought,
that's
wow.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, tell us just a little bit more about, as I was reading through Mangosteen Pet Experiences, and as I was talking to you personally, I started hearing and reading things about our other products, and not just the mangosteen, how the use of the pericarp oil of pets, the use of